Uh, and in honor of the monkey, even though you didn't get to go see it, still we wanted to do something kind of fun related to the movie. We haven't done a draft in a couple weeks, so we wanted to do a horror movie draft. Not even that this movie is a horror because it wasn't scary at all. Um, but we still wanted to do a little horror draft. We limited it to just horror movies of the 2020s, so the past couple years. I feel like if we included like the last 20 years or something, that would have been way harder.
Yeah, and we could even done like just imagine if we did every horror movie ever.
Yeah, that would have been ridiculous. So we're gonna do five each of our favorite horror movies of this decade. Everything after 2020 is good, even if it qualifies, I think, as a horror comedy
Yeah.
or like a different kind of horror. Um, I think it qualifies. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see what we think. But like some of mine are definitely more horror comedies, but I think that's fair for this kind of draft. So. I have not determined an order. I'm about to ask Siri to flip a coin. Pick a pick a pick a side. Heads or tails.
It's
All right, if it lands on heads, you get first pick. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads.
It's heads. All right.
Go.
All right. All right. So Wilk will get first pick in this draft. Let me write it down, make my little bracket here. All right. All right, brother man, what are you going to take with pick 1-1?
Yeah, I love going first, right? 1-1 for me. Last 5 years. Actually, it's our first review. Uh, so I'm gonna pick Nosferatu as my 1-1.
Oh.
Um, this movie is so like set up perfectly. It's so good, right? Like the acting, costume design, set design, uh, the mood, and like the overall like story. Perfect in my opinion. Um, Robert Eggers literally did like cook with this one. Um, Lily Rose Depp is outstanding. Nicholas Holt, our boy, he was great. And of course Skarsgård as Count Orlok. I mean, dude, just like still think about the crossroad scene every day, and still think about the castle scene every day. Even Willem Dafoe and uh, Aaron Taylor Johnson, like in their little roles, like the side supporting role.
Ralph Ineson too.
Yeah, they're so it is so good. When I think of a horror movie, I think about how the mood sets it up. Like, are you tense the whole time? And I think it did such a good job. And it's only right that we did a review on this podcast. It's our first review. It's gonna be my 1-1 Nosferatu.
No, not a bad pick at all. I had that one written down on my list as well. Huh. Okay, so I get back-to-back picks here.
I think I know where you're going.
Huh?
I think I know where you're going.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm gonna play this to try to like. I'm gonna play the movies that I know you've seen first to get those off the board because my top couple picks you have not seen. So, with that mindset, with this strategy, I am going to go with Barbarian for my first
Yep.
pick because I know that's one that you had seen.
Yep.
I even watched it with you a couple years ago. So um, I can't remember what year was that. Was that 20? It was either 21 or 22. 22.
Yep.
Um, yeah, The Barbarian's just an insane movie. That it still to this day remains the only or that I mean since I was probably a little kid, it's the only movie that I've ever gone into completely blind. I'd never seen one teaser, one trailer. I hadn't even read a synopsis. I didn't even know it was really coming out until like that week, and then a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, do you want to come watch Barbarian tonight?" I was like, "Okay." And what we got was just shocking. It's also kind of, I mean, it's definitely very creepy. It's definitely more of a horror movie, but it's got some comedic elements as well. Whereas Nosferatu, is like just much more serious, dark tone. Um, Barbarian like has some very funny moments for sure with Justin Long's character. Um, but yeah, no, it was definitely one of the biggest shocks that year of 22. I remember, I think I had it in my top 10 that year. Um, and then when I came to visit you that year, we watched it, and I know you really enjoyed it. So, I think that's a great pick here. I think it is honestly, whether it's number one or not, I definitely think it's probably like a top three or four movie of or horror movie of the 2020s for sure. So I'm gonna take Barbarian with my first pick. Um, and I'm gonna take something that you have not seen, but honestly, I probably should have taken this one first. But I'm gonna go with Substance. Um, I know you still have not seen it. I really freaking wish you would. The Oscars are next week, but
Or two.
huh?
Is it?
I don't know if it's on anything, but it's playing at Marcus. They're playing all of the Oscar movies. Actually, I think like this upcoming week they're playing all of them. Um, you should definitely go check it out if you get the chance, or you want to go to a $5 movie if it's playing on Tuesday. Go see The Substance. It's very good. Don't see the monkey. Um, but yeah, The Substance came out last year. Was another movie that I didn't really know much about going into. I think I'd seen like a teaser trailer on Twitter, but that was it. Um, The Substance is insane. It is a batshit insane movie. Um, two phenomenal acting performances from Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. It is genuinely the most disgusting movie I think I've ever seen. I've also never seen Human Centipede. I was talking to Grayson about it, and he said the substance is definitely gross, but it's no human centipede. So I have not seen that. So that, maybe it's not that gross. But movies that I've seen, it is disgusting. But it is such an interesting, unique story. It's got it's got a very like face value message. Like you can easily tell. It's not like it's some hidden message. Like you know exactly what the message is. But you throw that away, like it's still just a great movie. It's got a phenomenal score. It's directed very well, great acting. It's disgusting, some great horror elements. Um, I think it might be my favorite, honestly, like horror movie of this decade. You really need to check it out. I think you would really like it. So, and I'm very glad that it's getting like, still getting a lot of awards hype and it's nominated for Best Picture and Best Director and Best Actress. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with The Substance.
Good pick. I mean, back to back, I like those. Barbarian, I knew was gonna be in one of your like first two. I just knew it.
I just
Um,
wanted to. I wouldn't have taken that early, but I knew that you probably would have taken it next pick.
it would have been my next pick. You are right. You are
Yep.
right. Instead,
I
jeez.
think I feel like I know what you might go.
What?
I think I know what you might go here.
Yeah, it's not hard. Um, my next pick, if I can get my voice to work, because it doesn't want to work right now. My next pick came out the same year. And we like when the trailers came out, I remember us being like very interested in it. And it was actually very, very good. The sequel comes out this year. You're probably right on it. The Black Phone is my gonna be my second pick. I think just like how you were with Barbarian, this one was very surprisingly good. Like, I think we had high expectations, but it like exceeded our expectations. Um, Ethan Hawke is so good as a villain, very creepy.
And the
I had to
kids are
look.
good too. Really, a couple really good kid performances as well.
I had to look up the main character's name, Mason Thames.
Yeah, he's playing the new Hiccup in the How to Train Your
Yeah,
Dragon ring.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's really really good. He kind of steals the show. Um, Very creepy elements to this. Like it very is like grounded and real. Like you could feel like somebody's around taking kids, and like that feels very real. So I think that's why. And the ghost element of him, like the ghost of the kids before helping him get out, it's just such a cool concept. And the uh the daughter just makes some outlandish comments throughout the movie.
yeah. I remember it was really funny. Like we busted out laughing a couple
Yeah,
times. I've not seen it since we saw it in theaters. I definitely am going to rewatch before the new one.
yeah, yeah.
Because I know
Like
he definitely died. Did he not?
the
Ethan
Ethan
Hawke?
Hawke's character.
Yeah.
I thought he did, but
I think he did. It's just been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, no, that's a very solid movie. I knew that was going to be one of your first couple picks.
yeah, but no, this one, like, I was just more shocked at how good it was and how much I liked it. And then, we're getting a sequel this year. Maybe it'll be like a prequel kind of deal. Maybe.
Maybe that'd be cool.
Yeah. The next one, I didn't really know where I wanted to go with this. Um, because I mean, you've seen some of these movies, but some of these I kind of forgot about when I was going back through my rankings. And this one came out in 21, and it might not be like I don't think the critics like reviewed it very high, but it's such a good performance from Yahya Abdul-Mateen. It's Candyman from
Oh,
2020.
dude, I didn't even think about that when I was
Um,
looking at my stuff.
like I remember how good he was in that movie and how creepy the setting was, and we saw it together, obviously. And I was very like low on it. Not low on it, but like I think I had like a 7 the first time I saw it. I actually rewatched it last year. And I think I moved it up to like 8. Like it really is really good. And Yahya Abdul Mateen kind of steals the show of how good he is. And they bring back the original Candyman, which is very freaking cool. Um, but like there's some shots in that movie, there's some deaths in that movie that you're like, wow, like this is actually really good. They use like, of course, the mirrors as a play on like Candyman, and they do some really cool shots in that movie. And I feel like it shouldn't be overlooked because Yaya is so good. Um, and it might be like, is it perfect? No, probably not. But I do remember like very vividly how good like the movie was shot and told, and the story coming back around and everything. And at the end, or like when the reveal comes out of who Yaya's character is, you're like, holy. But no, I really enjoy Candyman. Obviously it's a remake or a retelling, and yeah, I'm gonna put that in
I
number two.
remember, I think Jordan Peele like had a hand in making
Yeah,
remaking that.
yeah,
He was a producer or something.
yeah.
No, I completely forgot about that. I thought you were about to take another movie that came out in 21, which I wrote down that we'll get to later. But no, good pick. All right, so for my third pick, okay, for my third pick, I'm going to take X, the first of that trilogy. I think you had even told me that you didn't even just love X that much, but I'm a huge fan of the first one. I don't think Pearl is that great. I think Mia Goth delivers a better performance in Pearl because it's a much more like character focused story. And then you got the finale of the trilogy in Maxine, which came out last year. Um, I think I liked it better than Pearl, but it's still not near as good as X. X is definitely the best one. If you're gonna watch any of them, that should be the one you watch. I remember seeing it. I saw it with Grayson, senior year of college. We were the only two in the theater, and that is a movie like, especially seen in theaters, dude. It genuinely is really creepy. You got these two old people like sneaking around killing these kids and people getting eaten by alligators and stuff. It's one of the most like uncomfortable movie theater experiences I've ever had. Like when the old woman like gets naked and gets in bed with her while she's sleeping, like I that made me so uncomfy. I was like, I just like there's a couple instances in that movie that are just like, wow, like they
Mm,
actually did this. I have not really seen this or felt this way in a movie before.
yeah.
It's also like it had some comedic elements. Like I know it had Kid Cudi in it. He was pretty funny. Jenna Ortega. Um, and then Mia Goth. Obviously, she's a great up and coming actress. She's got cast in The Odyssey. I think she's also. I know we don't really have much about the movie, but I think she's also got cast in Blade. Um,
I didn't know that.
which is good because Blade will probably be more sort of kind of a horror Marvel movie. So. Uh, yeah, no, I loved X. I know you weren't just massive on it, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good slasher, and it really like uh, kind of put Mia Goth on the path that she is
Yep,
on right now. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with X for my third pick. All right, for my fourth pick, I'm gonna go with another movie that came out last year. I think it was in my top five at last year actually, or top 10 anyways. Let's look. 2024. It was number five on the year last year for me. And that is Alien Romulus, the newest installment of the Alien movies, which you also have not seen because you are just a
that
loser.
one's on.
That
Prime?
one's definitely on Hulu.
Hulu?
I think so. Um, Alien Romulus. I didn't expect it to be this good. I think the last couple Alien movies that we've gotten were not that great. Um, what was it? Alien Covenant, and then was there another one before or after Prometheus, or was it Covenant, the previous one?
I keep forgetting there's a video game too, so
Yeah. Well, I think the last couple, then obviously like the fourth and fifth one or Resurrection or whatever is like a bad movie.
yeah.
So this franchise doesn't always hit. So you never really know. But I remember when the first trailer came out for this, we were like, okay, that is a damn good trailer. It was like in space, nobody can hear you scream.
Yep.
Um, and it is a phenomenal movie, directed by Fede Alvarez, um, who did Don't Breathe, which you've seen Don't Breathe.
Yep.
So he had experience working in like quiet, like making the quietness and silence like its own character being so scary. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You just got to see Alien Romulus. It's different, I feel like, than some of the other Alien movies. It's way creepier. The visuals of that movie are unbelievable. Um, like the spaceship looks great, and what else? You get some great performances. You got Kaylee Spaney in that, who she's coming up and coming. I forgot the dude's name. What's his name? He's also an up and coming actor. Alien Romulus. David Johnson. He plays Andy. Yeah, David Johnson's an up and coming actor. He's really good. And then Isabella Merced, who we've seen in a bunch of stuff. She's in it as well. So some great performances, very creepy, very exciting, good sci-fi movie, good space stuff. Um, and I think Fede Alvarez is supposed to be doing the next one as well. I believe he got signed on for it. So definitely going to be looking out for that. You need to check it out.
Yeah.
I know you like it because I know if you like the first like two or three Alien movies, you're gonna love it. Because I think it takes place actually immediately after the first one.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm gonna take Alien Romulus with my fourth pick.
Okay, so I have four and five right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, so first one came out for my fourth pick. Came out in 22. Came out in 22. It is a reboot of one of my favorite slasher series of all time, and that is Scream with Jenna Ortega. I think it's 22. I might have got it wrong. Pretty sure it's 22. Look
I
at
think
that.
it is.
22. Yep. Um,
Scream
and
5.
yeah, Scream 5. With Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera. Um, and this one kind of plays on like nostalgia a little bit, but that's not to say that it's not fun. Um, Mikey Madison is like very good at the end when it's revealed she's a killer. You see Neve Campbell again, you see Courtney Cox again. Jack Quaid is another one where he kind of like flies under the radar as a really like interesting like Scream 6, I think might like actually I think people like more.
I
I
like it.
don't. I don't like it more. I think it's a little bit much having three killers that goes in that one and they're chased around New York. I don't really care for it. This one kind of plays on its roots. Like they're back in the same town, high school kids, even in the same house. I just like all that. Bring it back. And to add on to that, you get pretty good acting performances as well, I think, across the board. It's very likable, very fun. Um, I know, like I said, like a lot of people like six more. I like this one a little bit more. And you can't tell me that when Dewey dies, you don't like sob a little bit.
Oh
Like
yeah, no, definitely,
when Dewey
definitely.
dies, I wanted to die. But I'm gonna go with Scream 5 for this one.
You
Uh,
didn't even bring him up. I don't think Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega are like really really good.
yeah, what? No, I brought them up.
Did you? I
Yeah.
didn't even hear you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, agreed. They are very good. It sucks that they won't be
Be
back.
back for the next one. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
curious to see how they're gonna do this next one.
yeah. and they're bringing a lot of people back, I think. Like, so we'll see. But again, like I think I was more interested on like how good Mikey Madison and Jack Quaid were as the killers, because they were like, they bring them back to the same house, same town. Um, I don't know. I like stuff like that. It's very, and of course it plays on nostalgia. You know how much I love the first one. That would have been my first pick, probably if we did a horror
Yeah.
movie of all time draft. So I'm gonna go with Scream 5. The last pick, number 5. I'm kind of between two. I'm gonna do one that was another because like we'll talk about the good ones, right? If this one was also a slasher film, and it kind of we saw it together, I think over Thanksgiving break when I came back home. Um, and it was kind of like fun. I remember like watching it and being like, "Wow, this is actually pretty funny." We don't know who really the killer is, but that is in 2023 Thanksgiving. You remember
I
Thanksgiving?
I cannot believe you took that movie in this draft.
Nah, dude, like it's fun. I don't care, bro. It is fun. It's funny. It's another slasher who done it. Like you could go, kind of anywhere with this pick, but I know we're gonna talk about the other good ones, like we are. But I'm talking about. I wanted to like bring up a movie that was definitely off the rocks. You probably did. You even have it on your list?
No,
Okay. But no, I think it's funny. Um, I mean, there are some bad acting performances, but that doesn't take away from like there's some deaths in there, even with the shopping cart scene at the beginning where you're like, oh my gosh, like that's nasty. And come to find out like who actually is the killer. Um, I think it's fun. There's some funny deaths. There's some interesting deaths. The acting is not superb, but that's what makes those like horror movies funny sometimes. And I remember I thought I talked about it with you that I was like actually kind of surprised on how much I liked it, but I don't even remember if you remember talking about that. You might have hated it. I can't even remember.
I
But
didn't hate it, but I don't. I did not even write it down. And there are several movies that I feel like you're not thinking of, and you're gonna be like, "Damn."
yeah, I
Um,
mean I probably overlooked some, but I know that one is fun. I'm gonna
if
wait to
you
see.
like that, you're gonna really like Hard Eyes. If
Yeah,
you
see, I think I would like Hard Eyes as well.
Hard Eyes is like similar vibes,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. But
But
it's
no,
I think it's a lot
it's
better.
goofy,
It's
it's got some funny deaths, and I mean, yeah, I just
hey, man.
and I have a soft spot for slasher movies. I
Yeah,
just
there you go. You got two slash movies here. So, um, all right. Well, that rounds you out. Thanks, Scream 5 and Thanksgiving. So with last pick in the draft, I still have several movies here. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna pick like personal favorite out of all these. And then we'll talk about honorable mentions. But man, this is tough. Um, I'm gonna go. Damn, dude, what do I want to do? Do I want to go like more of a horror, or do I want to go a horror comedy? Um, It's tough. All right, I think I'm gonna go more pure horror. A movie that came out last year, sequel. I liked the first one. I didn't think it was just that great, but the second one definitely takes it to the next level. It's a very, very good sequel. And it's the rare instance in like horror movies where you get a sequel that's better than the original, and that's Smile 2. Um, Smile 2, I don't know, you didn't see that one either. Did you even see the first one?
I've seen the first one.
First one's all right, it's nothing crazy, but the second one is incredible.
Yeah,
And what's her name? Um, she was a Disney Channel girl. She played Jasmine. She
I'll get
plays
it to you. I'll get it to you. Just keep going.
no, it's bugging me.
Naomi Scott.
Naomi Scott. Naomi Scott is phenomenal. Phenomenal in this movie. It is very, very creepy, like actually scary. I'd say out of all of the movies on my list, like it's definitely the scariest. Out of all of the movies on both of our lists, I think it's the scariest. Um, it's like a pure horror, not funny. It's just like dark, very, very dark and messed up. So, Yeah, I'm gonna go Smile 2. Dude, you haven't seen three of the movies on my list. Come on now. Come on, brother.
Yep.
You gotta get those numbers up. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Smile 2 with my last pick. I really, really enjoyed that one last year. I think it was number 10 or 11 for me on the year last year. So yeah. Do you want to do you have some honorable mentions? I'm sure you do. I have a
Yeah,
couple.
so I didn't pick this one because I didn't know if it counted as horror, but last night in Soho I found on
Yep, I have that written down as
yeah,
well.
so I didn't know if it counted as horror. I know it's like mystery thriller type deal.
I would give it horror. Yeah.
But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy is incredible in that movie. Also have like see, I would more do the first one than the second one, but A Quiet Place Part Two also came out. But I think that one's not as much as horror as the first one.
I had the new one written down, Quiet Place Day One, because
Yeah,
I enjoyed.
I think the first one is still the scariest.
I agree.
So like that's why I didn't pick that one. I had both of them like looking at them, but I just feel like the first one is scarier, and the other two are more like they don't focus on the horror as much.
Yeah, and I think the second one is probably the weakest of the three, but they're all great. They're all really good
Yeah.
movies. I had that written down as well. Another Anya Taylor-Joy horror comedy. I had the menu written down.
Oh yeah.
Also very very different, not really scary movie, but it's classified as a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely kind of a creepy movie for sure. Another horror comedy, Abigail. I think that came out like early last year. Fantastic movie. I don't think you ever saw that one either. Long Legs, Immaculate, that movie with Sydney Sweeney. I think that was last year or 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Um, and then um, Saw X, the newest installment of the Saw
Um,
movies. I had that written down as well. But
I'm trying to think. Hold on, I'm trying to think of any more I got. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's. Uh,
mm,
um, yeah, the only one that I really found like Last Night in Soho, and then Bodies is like a whodunit. Like
yeah,
that one's funny. We both, I think we saw that together as
yeah,
well. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm happy with my list to be honest with you. Like,
yeah. So I'll round them out again. So you got Nosferatu, The Black Phone, Candyman, the reboot, Scream 5, and Thanksgiving. I got Barbarian, The Substance, X, Alien Romulus, and Smile 2. Definitely a list of some great horror movies. I really want you to go and watch some of the ones that you missed last year.
I want to find The Substance. I gotta
If
find that and go
you can
watch it.
find it. I think it's literally playing in theaters this week, like leading up to the Oscars. You just
Guess
got
I'll
to
have to
find
go
it.
see an Oscar bait movie the whole week.